In a small town where history felt like an invisible weight, two lives were destined to intersect in the most unexpected way. Ella, a passionate historian, spent her days buried in dusty archives, reliving the narratives of those who once walked the earth. Her heart held the sorrow of unfulfilled dreams, but she pushed herself to uncover the stories buried in the past, hoping to heal her own lingering wounds. Meanwhile, across town, Lucas, a rugged yet charming carpenter, lived his life one day at a time. His hands were skilled at crafting beautiful furniture, but his heart was often heavy with regret. Lucas was haunted by a past relationship that had ended abruptly, leaving him skeptical about love. He filled his days with work, but every evening, he found himself grappling with loneliness. One fateful afternoon, Ella stumbled upon a forgotten piece of history. A love letter buried deep in a collection of old photographs. The fragile paper revealed the story of two star-crossed lovers torn apart by the societal norms of their times. As Ella read the words inked by a heart full of hope, something stirred within her. She wondered, could love really conquer all? Little did she know, Lucas was being drawn to the same archives. His curiosity about a historic mill led him to the very room where Ella was exploring. When the door creaked open, they both turned, their eyes meeting for the first time. In that moment, the air shifted. A spark ignited, filling the room with an unspoken connection that neither could ignore. Ella, with her bright passion for history, and Lucas, with his grounded reality, shared a tentative smile that hinted at something more. As they exchanged polite introductions, Ella felt a flutter in her chest. Lucas was more than just a handsome face, he had a kind smile that made her feel safe. They found themselves engrossed in a conversation about the letters, discovering that they shared a love for storytelling. Time slipped away as they laughed and exchanged ideas, the world outside forgotten. Days rolled into weeks as their paths intersected more frequently. Lucas began visiting the archives, drawn not only by historical intrigue but by Ella's infectious enthusiasm. They collaborated on a project that aimed to revive the love story Ella had unearthed, poring over each detail, their laughter echoing in the hallways. However, as their bond deepened, so did their individual fears. Ella was intimidated by Lucas's rough edges and past experiences. She worried that her sheltered life of academia could never measure up to his world. Lucas, on the other hand, felt himself slipping into deeper feelings for Ella, yet hesitated to let her in, fearful that history would repeat itself, and he would ultimately hurt her. But one crisp autumn evening, everything changed. They had spent the day gathering more information about the lovers in Ella's letters, and the excitement was palpable. Lucas, feeling brave, invited Ella to a small art show that boasted local artists. Hand in hand, they navigated the room filled with color and creativity, where every canvas echoed their shared passions. As they examined a beautiful painting of a sunset, the artist approached, sharing the story of heartbreak and hope that inspired the piece. Under the glow of famous paintings, Ella turned to Lucas, her heart racing. "What if we are like those colors?" she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "What if we blend together, creating something beautiful despite our past?" In that moment, Lucas realized he couldn't live in fear any longer. With a trembling hand, he reached for Ella's, gripping it softly yet firmly. "Then let us blend," he whispered back, and with that, uncertainty began to fade. As weeks turned to months, their relationship flourished, but past shadows still lingered. Ella often found herself overwhelmed with doubt when Lucas would occasionally drift into silence. She remembered his past love and worried he might still be attached to that chapter. It was while walking through a park under a light rainfall that their unspoken worries burst forth. Ella, feeling vulnerable, confronted Lucas about her fears. "What if you still want someone else? We're from two different worlds, and I can't measure up." Lucas paused, the weight of her words hanging between them like dark clouds. "Ella, I can't change my past, but I want you in my future." He took a deep breath, hoping his feelings poured out like the rain around them. You have brought colors back into my life that I thought were long gone. I choose you. With those words, a healing light filled the space between them. Ella realized how simple and profound love could be when given a chance, just like the lovers from the letters she had read. Days turned into seasons, and they continued to weave their own story together. Lucas brought Ella to meet his family, introducing her as the love he had been waiting for. Ella baked cookies for Lucas's younger sibling. As winter approached, Ella and Lucas decided to host a community event inspired by the love letters they had studied together. As they shared, people began to open up about their own journeys. Some rekindling lost romances, while others found the courage to pursue new beginnings. Ella and Lucas stood side by side, realizing that all they needed was a second chance, a chance to believe that love, indeed, could rise above history's odds. On the night of the event, as the lights twinkled around them, Lucas took Ella's hand, and they stepped outside for a moment. Under a blanket of stars, he turned to her, eyes bright with affection. I never wanted to believe that I could love again, but you've changed everything for me. Thank you for showing me the way. Ella looked up, her heart swelling. And thank you for making me feel like I'm worthy of this love. As they stood together, wrapped in the warmth of newfound hopes, they realized that love isn't just a fairy tale. It's a journey filled with resilience, understanding, and moments that define who we are. And so, in their small town, a love story flourished, not without trials, but richer for the obstacles they had overcome together. It was a testament to the idea that sometimes history needs a hand to guide it, and sometimes love needs a second chance. Their story was one of many, but it echoed an age-old truth: love truly can defy the odds. One heartfelt moment at a time. As the months rolled on, Ella and Lucas found themselves immersed in each other's worlds. Ella continued her research, diving deeper into the love letters that had sparked their relationship, while Lucas spent his weekends crafting furniture that reflected not only his skills but also the love he poured into each piece. One evening, they decided to turn their project into something tangible, a collection of stories and artifacts that celebrated love through the ages. They spent countless nights gathered around Ella's dining table, poring over documents, sharing laughs over coffee, and sometimes even retracing their own memories as they crafted personal anecdotes for their exhibit. It was one of those nights when Lucas suddenly felt the urge to tell Ella something significant. With a deep breath, he reached across the table, took her hand, and said, "You know, I never would have imagined that I would be doing something like this, sharing my life, my work, my heart with someone." Ella squeezed his hand gently, a slight blush creeping onto her cheeks. It's the magic of second chances, right? We get to rewrite our own stories. Nervously, Lucas shifted in his seat. What if, instead of just a collection, we make it a celebration? A gala of sorts? We can involve the community, gather stories of other second chances. Ella's eyes twinkled with excitement, and she couldn't help but lean closer. That's a wonderful idea. A chance to honor love in all its forms. And so, their project transformed into a community gala, embracing love stories from everyone. As they reached out for submissions and exciting artwork, Lucas's enthusiasm was infectious. Together, they created an atmosphere that allowed their small town to reflect on its own history of love, heartbreak. As the big day approached, the planning whirlwind began to take over their lives. Ella thrived on organizing the exhibits, while Lucas carefully constructed a beautiful display of his handcrafted furniture as part of the gala. They found themselves spending every waking moment together, mixing work with an undeniable spark of romance. However, amidst the planning excitement, they also faced the reality of their pasts creeping in. On quiet evenings when worries would settle like a blanket over them, both wondered if they were prepared to open old wounds, revisit the pain that had shaped them. One particularly rainy night, Lucas found Ella sitting on the porch, staring out into the stormy night. There was a heaviness in the air, and he could feel tension coiling within her. He settled next to her, close enough to feel her warmth radiate. "What's on your mind?" he asked gently. Ella exhaled, a quiver in her voice. "It's the gala, Lucas. I want it to be perfect, but I can't shake the feeling of what we're asking people to share. What if their stories resurface old pain?" Lucas nodded, understanding all too well. "You're right. But maybe that's part of healing. Sharing those stories could bring more than just pain, it could be cathartic." Ella turned to him, her eyes glistening. "You're so brave. But are we ready to go through that, too?" He placed his hand on her cheek, grounding her in tenderness. "We can face it together. Just like those lovers from the letters, turning pain into strength. Rediscovering love through shared experiences." With the weight lifted slightly from her heart, Ella leaned in, savoring the warmth of Lucas's presence. They knew the gala would challenge them both, but the chance to foster connection and understanding among those around them felt worth the risk. Finally, the day of the gala arrived. Under string lights and stars, the town came alive. Couples, families, and old friends gathered at the community center, excitement buzzing in the air. The walls enveloped in their stories and memories felt warm and inviting. As Ella stood by the entrance greeting attendees, she spotted an elderly couple somewhere in the crowd. Their hands were intertwined as they walked, a tangible symbol of a love that had weathered the storms of life. Ella felt a swell of warmth as she thought of the power of resilience in love and the joy of shared stories. Throughout the evening, people shared tales of heartfelt reunions, overcoming obstacles, and the unexpected ways fate brought them together again. The energy of connection was palpable, and Ella felt deeply grateful for the journey that had led her to Lucas. Meanwhile, Lucas chatted with some local artists, feeling proud of. As he caught sight of Ella, glowing with delight in the soft light, his heart swelled. He knew he'd made the right choice to take this leap with her. The culmination of the evening came as Ella prepared to speak, the audience settling down, eager to hear her words. Standing beside Lucas, she took a deep breath and began. "Tonight is not just about celebrating love. It's about acknowledging the journeys we all take together. Every love story has its trials, its moments of hesitation and doubt. What matters is that we dare to believe in love, to embrace second chances." As she looked out at the audience, she felt a rightness about this moment. Lucas stood by her side, his unwavering support filling her with confidence as their eyes met. After her speech, the gala buzzed with laughter and renewed connections. As the evening wore on, Ella and Lucas found a quiet moment away from the crowd, stolen beneath the stars. "Thank you for pushing me to share," Ella said, her voice a gentle whisper against the soft night breeze. "I couldn't have done this without you." Lucas pulled her close, their contrasting worlds fading away. "And I couldn't have faced my fears without you, Ella. You've helped me believe in love again." Holding each, not only for what had transpired but for the chance they had taken on each other. The evening became a reminder of the beauty that can arise from vulnerability, and the courage it takes to step into the light after enduring darkness. Just as they found solace beneath the stars, they knew their love would continue to grow. The stories they uncovered and the moments they shared were not merely memories. They were stepping stones, guiding them through the intricacies of love and into a future where happiness awaited. As they walked back to the gathering, hand in hand, they felt ready to embrace whatever came next, ready to continue their journey, knowing that together, they could face any odds. And in that belief, they found the promise of a lasting love. He shared how proud he was of not just her accomplishments, but the journey they had taken together. "You've taught me that second chances are for embracing love, not fearing it. I want to keep taking chances with you, Em." With tears glazing her eyes, Emma stepped closer, their hands intertwining. "And I want to grow and dream with you, no matter where life leads us." This love, it's exactly what I was meant to find. In that moment, surrounded by warmth, laughter, and art. They knew that love isn't simply about avoiding heartbreak but embracing the beauty of connection and second chances. Their story became an inspiration, proof that when two hearts are willing to look past their fears, love can indeed prevail. Defying the odds and paving the way for a future filled with joy, laughter, and endless possibilities. As Emma and Lucas continued to